Well, we've been on a journey for this year, haven't we? We've been talking about the basics of science of mind. We've filled ourselves with the idea of a power and a presence that's within us. And today we're going to talk about, last week was about spiritual practice, about how we begin that. And today we're going to go with how do we create our dreams. This is it. This is what this is about, living our dream. And you notice it says living your dream. Not your mother's dream, not your father's dream, not your boyfriend's dream, your girlfriend's dream, your wife's dream, your husband's dream, your children's dream, not your church's dream, not the politician's dream, not the television's dream, not the radio's dream, not the newspaper's dream, not the magazine's dream, your dream. You're hearing that really clear. Your dream is unique only to you, and you have the only purpose you have in life is to live that dream, and everyone else gets that same freedom. That's the real important part, is that each of us, as an individualization of one, we have freedom to live our dream, and when we try to change the dream of others to fit into our dream, we're going against the natural laws of society. The natural laws of the universe. Because the natural law is everyone is free, whole, and perfect and unique in this moment. And in that freedom, they have the birthright, that is their divine right, to be that unique self. And when we change that, or we don't listen to that, there's great pain. Great pain comes from the fact that we're not on point. We are not listening to what we want. You ever been in pain? Yesterday we did a relationship class, and we had these wonderful people in this relationship class, and so afterwards I kept thinking about all the relationships in my life, not just the 1,000 relationships I've had with my wife, but the relationships I had before my wife. And so I realized really clearly when I was dating this beautiful young woman in college, this is prior to Jean, I was dating her and I said, why am I so miserable? I mean, she's beautiful. I think I love her. She's certainly pleasant to have on my arm and that. But she was trying to change me. And I, in my naivety, in my stupidness, in my immaturity, believed that I could change for her and become the man of her dreams. You see the problem with that? Become the man of her dreams and not the man of my dreams. And so what ended up happening is there was a big breakup. You know how breakups go. And then there was a 6-month period in between where I got to be Wild Lee. And I liked Wild Lee. Wild Lee was really free. He was a lot of fun. A lot of fun. Through my eyes, he was a lot of fun. Maybe other people looking in didn't see the same fun. And then what happened, I found what? I found freedom. I no longer was bound by these expectations. I stepped into my Lee-ness, and I was going to be single a long time because it was fun. And what happened? I met Jean. And we had, on our second date, we said we were not going to get involved. That we both had come off of other relationships. And here's the key that happened. In that moment, we gave each other freedom. I never had restrictions put on me. I never had said, I have to do things. I always could do whatever I wanted. I gave her the same freedom. From that, the relationship bonded, and here I am. Now it would be almost 47 years later since I met her. And freedom... I keep telling you, freedom is the key to dreaming. Do you get that? Without freedom, there is no dream. If there's no freedom, then you're boxed into what other people want. You don't want that. So let's go on with this. We got to start with who am I? First thing is, I want you to be able to say this. Say this with me. Say that line with me. I am a dreamer. Now say, my life is a mirror of my dreams. Now say this, I am 100% responsible for making my dreams come true. Hear that? I am a dreamer. You are a dreamer. My life mirrors my dreams. I always know where I am in relationship to my dream because I just look at my life. And who's responsible for my dream coming true? Only me. None of you have that responsibility. That frees everyone else that comes into my life, because they have no responsibility for making my dream come true. Only I do. That makes it easy to be in my life, because I put no responsibility on you other than to be your authentic self. All my life is a dream, and I am its creator. That is an affirmation I would invite you to consider. All my life is a dream, and I'm its creator. And here's the key. I'm bringing it into spiritual terms. My life is a prayer. Because what is prayer? Let's really look at what prayer is. Prayer is simply directing your thought toward what you desire. Can I make that any clearer? It's not a magical formula. It's nothing. It's about directing your thought toward what you desire. We were talking about this earlier. How is the creative process happening? Picture that there is a law that creates your life. And that law is a light beam shooting out of a projector. That light beam shoots out a projector, and what you see on the wall or on the screen is your life. Now, to change it, what has to happen? You've got to put a new slide in front of that projector. And whatever slide you put in front of that projector, the law or the light shines it out and gives you exactly what's on that slide. It doesn't fill in anything on the slide. If you put in a very generic slide, you're going to get generic results. And we talked about that in class today, about how, well, I'll leave it up to Spirit to fill in the rest. Well, you know what you're going to get then? You're going to get the law of averages working in your life. Because whatever you're not clearly putting out there, then you're going to have an average experience in that aspect of your life. My prayers make my dreams come true. The more I direct my thought, the clearer I direct my thought, the more I believe it, the more I feel it, the more I know it, and I direct my thought, that demonstration comes into my life. The creative process. We are living in an intelligent universe which mechanically responds to our mental states. Do you hear the key word there? It mechanically responds to our mental states. It does not care about what you put into it. It takes what you put into it. It creates it. Isn't that interesting? So where's the responsibility? It goes back to that very first slide. I am 100% responsible for creating my dreams. I have to put that mental image out there. To the extent that we learn to control these mental states, we can control our environment and our experience. So where's the power? It's in controlling our mental states. What is a mental state? It's our habits of thinking. It's our conscious habits of thinking, and it's our unconscious habits of thinking. That's the work. How do we change the habits of thinking, conscious and unconscious? So if you're studying Ernest Holmes, if you're studying the science of mind, Ernest Holmes does not believe that you need to dig into something and figure out what's wrong. It does not believe that you need to say, oh, I'm ill, I've got this illness, I've got this toe, and this toe is 20 times its size. What did I do? What did I mentally do to cause that toe to be that way? Ernest Holmes does not say you need to do that. Ernest Holmes says what you do is you focus on what you want. I focus on a healthy, normal toe. That's where you put your energy. You put your energy in what you want, and you create a habit of thinking about what you want. When you create that new habit of thinking, the old habit gets neutralized by the new habit. The two cannot coexist because they're opposites. In other words, you cannot be loving and think judgment and be judging. You cannot be the two. There's only one you can be at any one time. So Ernest Holmes says, don't focus on the problem, focus on what you want. Okay? In other words, thoughts become things. Our actions are simply thoughts in motion. I've said this last week. I love that. We must remember, and remember this, not only are our thoughts or actions thoughts in motion, but our feelings are thoughts in motion. So everything in our life goes back to how we're thinking. So we now know where cause is. Cause is in thought. So now we know where we have to put our effort. We put our effort in changing thought. Okay? The first step into creating your life dreams is you have to dream. But what are dreams? Dreams, according to Ernest Holmes, are our mental patterns that can lead us to a fuller, richer life, or can create phantom monsters that make our life a nightmare. See, we can dream about a great life. We can dream about having magnificent, or we can worry. And what are worries? Worries are dreams toward what we don't want. Think about that. How many people here worry? Don't raise your hands. You're all going to go up. I know that. We all sit back and we all worry. Let's just be honest about it. Let's admit that. In the ego, in the human form, we worry. The more we worry, the more we create that worry in our lives. Question is that what you want? Be conscious, is that what you want? Yeah, we're going to worry. Just know that it's going to happen. You're never going to get rid of that. You're never going to be 100% worry-free. That are going to pop in. Just to know that, and when it comes in, know that's a sign to focus on something different. We get to choose how we use our imagination. Hear that. We and only we get to choose how we use our imagination. Here's the other side. We get to choose or not use our imagination. What I have found with people as they get older, the ability to imagine becomes less and less and less and less. I can remember doing a workshop when I asked for people to imagine what a dream relationship was. And I got 5 answers. Come on, think. What more is there? There should be 150, 200 answers to that. What does a dream relationship look like? Right? If you only give the law 5 things and you put 5 things on the slide, that's all that's going to show up in the life. If you put 150 things up, that's what's going to show up in your life. Which do you want? I've got people that have said, Reverend Lee, I did this. I imagined my perfect mate. And this is what I wanted. I wanted these 5, 6 things. And I got them all. I got all 6 of them. But I forgot about these 30 over here. There were 30 others they wanted, but they didn't tell the law that, and the law said, well, you didn't ask, you didn't tell me not to, so the average experience, think about what is the average experience of relationships out there? It's not a good thing when you read it. Divorce rate is 50-some% at this point. Also, the percentage of people in relationships are not happy. There are many, many people in relationships that do not want to be in those relationships. They stay in there because it's a known entity. I have to do it for the kids. I have to do it because that's my financial security. I have to do it for all these reasons, and they're unhappy. Are they living their dream? Whew. Step 2 is to visualize and experience your dream as if it's already realized. Imagine what your dream is and then step into that dream now. I mean, you literally create this dream. You create this whole environment of what would that dream look like, and then we step into it. And when we step into it, we picture it, we see it through our eyes, and then most importantly, we feel it. What is it like when we step into that dream? What do I feel like? If I'm in my dream relationship, what do I feel like? I bet I feel free. I bet when you're in your ideal job, you step into your ideal job and you feel free to give your creative talent. I bet when you're talking about stepping into your perfect, healthy body, it's about being free to do anything you want that physically brings you pleasure and joy. Being able to hike up a mountain. I'm going to go in, I think it's August. I haven't got the date set. I'm going with Guruji and Niranjan and a small group of people he selected. We're going to Mount Kailas in Tibet, and we're going to go around a sacred trek on the mountain at 18,000 feet. Now, I'm going beyond what you would believe is possible. You would think that that's going to be possible for an individual who's in perfect physical health, that's in their 20s, and that. I'm going there, and at that time, I'll be 67 years of age, and it will be easy. Because why? What is one of my affirmations? If you know me, you'll know that one of my affirmations is, I live in the body of a healthy, virile, 25-year-old male athlete. You notice how clear that is? I follow it up with, I have perfect assimilation, elimination, circulation, and breathing. My body and mind live in homeostasis, and I experience perfect health and well-being, and my body easily builds and maintains muscles and flexibility. Those are my 4 or 5 of my affirmations I do every day. That's implanted in my mind. When I look at something, I see it through the eyes of a 25-year-old because I've created the dream, I've stepped into it, and I feel it. Ask my wife if I feel like I'm 25 after service. Live in it. Be the person in the dream. Even if you're not in your dream now, be the person who would be in that dream now. This is the time we start. This is the time when we become it. We don't wait until we've got a physical result. Remember, everything starts with thought, so we've got to change our thought to have the physical. It's not to have the physical, then you have the thought. That's where it's backwards. We've got to come from cause and not from effect. When you pray, pray with belief and conviction. Pray knowing it is done when? Now. Not in the future, it is done now. Focus on only what you want. Ernest Holmes says this over and over and over in The Science of Mind, and can it get any simpler? But I have people come up to me all the time and says, but what about this? No! Focus on only what you want. Put all your energy on building your thought pattern, your feeling pattern, your action pattern toward what you want. Forget the other stuff. The other stuff is an effect of someone else, or it's an effect of a past thought process, and you don't want that in your life, so don't bring that into your life by thinking about it. What is it? One of the things is that we can really say about ourselves is, as individuals, we are not statistics. Right? As a one, you are not a statistic. As a group, now we have statistics, right? And if there's statistics, they go from this end of the spectrum to this end of the spectrum. If you're not choosing where you're going to be a part of the law of averages, which means you're going to have an experience here. You might be lucky and have an experience here or here, but you're leaving yourself open. I like to put myself at the perspective, I am not a statistics, I'm an individual. I will be at what end of the spectrum I choose to be in. I invite you to do the same. What is it? People over 60, they say 90% or 95% of them are on prescription meds. And they're not on just one prescription med, they're on multiple prescription meds. I want to share with you, Gene and I are on 0. We use these principles on a daily basis. We've had the opportunity to be on those meds, and we've taken the tools to heal ourselves to be not on them. That's a critical thing. It's not like we were just blessed with genetics. If you want to go, the doctors will say, well, Lee, your mother died of cancer, your brother died of cancer, your father's got heart disease, the whole family's an alcoholic. What do you think the doctor's going to say I'm going to have? The average of those things, right? And I say to the doctor, I can choose who I am. I am not a statistic. And doctors only know statistics. I'm not saying doctors are wrong. There's good in doctors. There's good in medicine. I'm saying, but you have to bring your consciousness to that. Our focus sends a clear message to the law. If we do not send a clear message to the law, we get a fuzzy result. And I don't mean like fuzzy tacos. Do you love fuzzy tacos? They're wonderful. I love that restaurant. I got to have lunch with Kendall Lee yesterday there. It's just such a freeing atmosphere. I can go in there and be a vegan and have my vegan foods and sit outdoors and just talk and share. And we did that as a group after class. Mary was there and a bunch of others were there. It's a nice place to gather. But you don't want fuzzy results. You just want fuzzy tacos. Only tell your dreams to others who will support you. That's a big one. Because chances are, if I told my mother my dream to be a minister, my mother said, who the hell do you think you are? I told my mother my dream was to start a spiritual center. My mother said, what makes you think that you can do that? What makes you think you've got something to offer? Do you think I listened to my mother? I didn't listen to her when I was 2. When I was a teenager, I really didn't listen to her. I realized she had wisdom, but I realized also it was my life. I'm blessed that I was a rebel. I'm blessed that I had that hippie in me that rebelled against society. That hippie's still alive and well. You just can't see it. If I could grow long hair, I'd probably be that hippie minister in front of you with my flip-flops and my guru top and all of that. Remember, it's never too late. It's not too late, no matter where you are in your health, no matter where you are in relationships, no matter where you are in life with your money, no matter what your age is, it is not too late, because the law that creates only knows the slide you're projecting. It's your job to put the slide up there. I will tend to share with you that there could be a tendency that the older we get, it requires more spiritual coin to change the slide. Because we've been thinking the habits of thought longer, and so they're more deeply ingrained in our minds. And again, here we go, pray unceasingly. Direct your thoughts toward what you want unceasingly, nonstop. Jesus said that really clearly. Unceasingly, how often do you pray? How often do you forgive? 70 times 7. Forgiveness is what? Letting go of the idea that you hurt someone or someone hurt you. See that life is always in balance no matter what happens. And then when you've done that and you've let go, then you're not attached to that thing holding you back in life. You got to have faith and know that your dreams are coming true. Live as if your dream has already come true. See your life right now that nothing's missing. Realize that no matter where your life is, you've created it, and up until this point, the life that you have was your dream. And the beauty is, you can change what the dream is. Always be moving towards your dream. People want to say, Reverend Lee, I want some time off. This spiritual practice is too much work. I got to meditate 20 minutes a day. I got to do affirmations 10 minutes a day. I have to do some gratitude. I'm asking for 40 minutes a day, and they're saying it's too much. Guess what they value? Their old dream more than their new dream. That's simply, when people tell me that, I just simply say, that's just what they value. And guess what? There's nothing right or wrong about it. There is no judgment there. There's nothing right or wrong. But I'm saying if you want to create something new, it must be persistent and consistent in your practice. Take actions and take action as actions are thoughts in motion. We've talked about that already. Stay in alignment with your dream. Thoughts, words, actions, and feelings. This was really a big thing this week as I talk with people. It was about, I want my life in balance. People are saying, I don't have balance in my life right now. When we say we don't have balance in our lives, what we're saying, our thoughts, words, actions, and feelings are not in alignment with where we want to be. Because if they were, we would do it. A week ago, my life was not in balance. I had issues with my father. I'm the caretaker for my father. He was in hospice. A week and a half ago, he graduated from hospice. So my dad, who was dying, the doctors all said, you're dead. 9 months later, comes out of hospice, and the doctor said, well, it's just the thing. It just happens. It's a law of averages. And when I was talking with the doctor, I was texting with the doctor, I said, doctor, please don't put him back on the meds that we took him all off of when he got on hospice, because coming off the meds brought him back to health. Again, it's a conscious choice. What are you putting in your body? Giving thanks and celebrate. This is the key thing. Giving thanks puts us in the receiving mode. Give thanks for what we got in our lives right now. Think about the great music. I mean, we had Stray Cats at the beginning. Isn't that not cool? Boom, boom. Oh, that just makes you want to move. That was what, the 80s, Steve? I remember seeing Stray Cats on MTV when it first came out. I remember, and MTV at the time was addictive because it was video after video. It wasn't all this reality TV. Gene and I lived in Tampa, Florida. We would, on the weekends, we'd have these sliders that would open up the whole wall in the living room and in the family room, opened up to a screen lanai with our pool. We would have on almost no clothes at all because we had no children, and we'd be hearing MTV. And it was just so good. And so when you hear music like Steve plays, the reason I love what he chooses is it brings us back to a feeling of freedom. I don't play country music. You want to know why I don't play country music? Because if you were to play the music backwards, you would see people getting back their dog, their car, their house, their husband. Well, I don't want to get that old stuff back. Giving thanks builds an inner knowing that there's a power working within us. You see, when we're in gratitude, we're saying that there's something in me that is creating, and I'm acknowledging that that creative power is in me and that I've created it, and that's just affirming within myself the power's working. Is it not cool when you think about it that way? And when we're grateful, we open ourselves up to see the beauty of more life that at times otherwise would be hidden. When we are not in gratitude and we're in worry, we're feeling a sense of lack, that influences the filter of how we see the world. And we may have the right, if you're single and you've got a thing that, oh, I'm not worthy or my relationships never work out, the perfect man or woman could be right there next to you and you can't see them. Because you're not in gratitude. You have not opened up your eyes to the ability to see what is always there. Step 6, keep dreaming. You are the creator and so is everyone else. And I really wanted to put that up there because you're the creator and realize that, but let's not get narcissistic and say that I'm the only creator. No, everyone is the creator. So in my relationship, I create and Gene creates. And we create differently in many ways. And sometimes we co-create. And sometimes what she creates would be something I wouldn't choose. And I know that when I do creation, a lot of times it's not what she would choose. However, we give each other freedom to create that. That's what makes a relationship work. Our purpose in life is to create. And here's the thing. When we stop creating, we die. Our body really hears that when we are not creating, there is no longer for it to be youthful. Do you hear that? So if you're not using your body as a 25-year-old and you're acting as a 67-year-old, what is the law hearing? That you're 67 and your body needs to deteriorate. But if you're acting, thinking, and you've got dreams, and you're dreaming as a 25-year-old, your body now will stay at that level because you're telling it, you're living it, you're feeling it, you're acting it. You're affirming it with your basic life right here and now. So don't ever act old. Oh, it's cool to be old. No, it's death. Unless you're ready to die. Unless you're ready to die, then cool. Let it go. Let the body go. How do I teach how to die? Simply this. Happy, healthy, happy, healthy, happy, healthy, dead. Just like that. You don't have to die painfully. You can just check out and go. But you've got to set an intention. When we dream, we are alive and our lives have purpose. When we're not dreaming, we have no purpose. Here's the last thing I want to say. Dream big. Dream big. You are not meant to be small. But keep in mind that dreaming big, real big dream, takes you taking steps, small steps, every day toward that dream. I'm making that point because you do not have to make a quantum leap to get to your dream, because this life that we have is a journey. And that's why we do spiritual practice, is to remind us that we are on a journey. And that it's about a day-by-day, step-by-step, moment-by-moment process of being alive in that. I teach on my radio show, self-love through conscious living is a moment-by-moment choice. The question I'm going to ask you is, are you choosing to be alive? And are you willing to dream? And if you are, dream big, my friends. Dream big. Let's pray.
I want to thank you for joining us today. I'm so grateful that you took your time to watch or listen to this message. If you found this message beneficial, I would ask that you go to our website, agapecsl.com. Once there, click on the donate button and experience the joy of conscious and purposeful giving. Or if you would like, text your gift by simply dialing 972-532-6976. It is through your gifts that we are able to bring this message to you in the world. I would ask that if you like this message, to please subscribe to my YouTube channel under my name, Lee Wolak. Again, I want to thank you for joining me in the Agape community as we learn how to better self-love through conscious living.